Prince Harry is having such a nervous breakdown that a picture of his young niece celebrating her birthday, lovely young woman who he no longer has anything to do with because of his appalling treatment of her parents, sends him into some type of meltdown. The biggest meltdown he's feeling right now is as a result of his erasal by his father, King Charles, from Highgrove. Yes, this was before the appalling behaviour. This is now. Do you notice the picture that's missing from the wedding? For very good reason. I reckon Camilla probably chucked it in the bin, actually. But let me show you why Prince Harry is apparently having this breakdown, with friends revealing to Richard Eden how the lovely new image of Charlotte left him feeling very sad. For an old friend of the Duke of Sussex tells Richard Eden that Harry desperately wishes his own children, Prince Archie, who turned 7 yesterday, and Princess Lilibet 4, enjoyed the same sort of childhood as their cousins Charlotte, Prince George and Prince Louis. Who took that right and that opportunity away from them? Chickens coming home to roost is the saying that rings a bell here. This is what the pal told Mr. Eden. Archie and Lily are having a lovely time in California, a lovely time as prisoners in that mansion. But Harry is very sad that they are missing out on life with the rest of their family. During his return visit to Britain last September, Harry told a friend that he and his wife Meghan plan to educate their children in this country, meaning the UK. Harry feels his children are missing out on the extensive family network that their cousins are enjoying, explained the chum, referring to Prince William and Catherine's offspring, who all currently attend the same public school, £32,000 per year, Lumbrook. Harry wants his children to have the very best education, the friend added. He has retained his closest friendship group of confidants from his days at Highgrove and Eton. He wants that for his own children. Now, again, there's a lot of propaganda being put out there. Can I just tell you, he hasn't maintained the friends and the confidants from his school days, because I know some of those guys, and they find his behaviour truly reprehensible. They find the way that he treats the British royal family truly reprehensible. So can we please stop this propaganda that Harry is still in touch with all of these old mates? No. Most of them think that he is a scumbag and feel like the rest of the British public. The friend conceded that Harry might have a challenge selling his plan to Meghan. Oh yeah, no sugar, Sherlock. Who is said to consider sending children to boarding school barbaric. Well, that is a dig. Can I just be clear about what's going on here? That is a dig at Prince William and Catherine, who are probably intending to send Prince George to a boarding school. And so now we have Meghan, who I think is anything but Mother of the Year, describing William and Catherine as barbaric. Sickening. This is also sickening and desperate. The pal went on, there is still some negotiation for Harry to have with Meghan. The king, however, is delighted. No, he's not. Again, can we please stop this propaganda suggesting that in some way the king, who has now cut all contact with Harry, really gives a damn about his pie-in-the-sky plans. Actually, what he wants is Harry not causing trouble and not causing difficulty. And if he were to return to the United Kingdom, bring the children back to attend school here, guess what? That would immediately cause trouble and difficulties for the king. That comment, though, Richard Eden goes on, suggests that the Duke had mentioned his plans to educate his children in Britain to his father, who he met for tea at Clarence House last September. Given the ages of Archie and Lilibet, who were controversially given Queen Elizabeth II's family pet name, they are unlikely to be sent to boarding school across the Atlantic anytime soon. Meanwhile, their cousin Prince George is expected to start boarding school, probably Eton College, that's what I believe, in September. Now, as the royal grift put it, after having to put up with that, these royal reporters are the reason for a lot of this gaslighting. Are you effing kidding me with this bullshit? We are sick of these two. Let them sort it out privately. But here is how Richard Eden responded.
Trouble brewing in Montecito. Friends of Prince Harry have revealed his one wish for Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. But Meghan may need to be convinced. Prince Archie turned 7 this week, and his cousin, Princess Charlotte, celebrated her 11th birthday. And friends of Prince Harry have said how sad Harry is that his children do not have relationship with their cousins, or with the wider royal family network?
I mean, P. Diner, royal YouTube sensation, by the way. Hello, welcome. Great to have you back on Outspoken. Sorry, I'm just so into this story.
Yeah.
You know, I actually agree with the royal grift on this. Like, what is Richard Eden trying to suggest here? What is he playing at? And actually, everyone needs to see through what this is. Total propaganda from Team Harry and Meghan, full of lies, attempting to do down William and Catherine by describing them as barbaric, attempting to do down William and Catherine for putting out a lovely picture of Charlotte. I mean, it's just nuts. And also, I think totally misrepresenting where the king actually stands in regards to Harry today.
Well, I think there's just a lot of confusion because Harry is confused. There is a lot of stories going in so many different directions. No one really truly knows. But I think from the experience that Harry is having right now, I mean, I can see him wanting to have his children have experiences that he had growing up. So I do see that there is some problems with, the future of Harry's children. What is happening now, I think, with the media is just there's just so much going with their lives in terms of, what people are saying that they said, what the reality is. And I just think it plays to the fact that, Harry's life is a mess and he is confused and his children are confused. They will be essentially later as they get older because none of this will make sense to them because their lives have been, I think, hidden from them. Part of their life has been hidden from them in real time. Like right now, they're not going to experience a lot of these things that, Charlotte and the other cousins are experiencing. So it's really sad to watch it actually happening because we know that these children are experiencing a very secluded life that is not going to give them the full life that they should have as real royals, living in the UK. So, you know, that's how I see it. It's just a lot of confusion with everything because he's confused.
Yeah, indeed. But the thing is, Pete Diner, it's like, does he have any idea who his wife is? Like, I have said for a long time, and we have even had this conversation, Pete Diner, and you know all about this given your time in California. There is no way in hell that she is letting the children be privately educated in the United Kingdom because all of a sudden she would potentially lose that ability once the marriage breaks up to keep the children in California, which is effectively her biggest bargaining chip in terms of either what the divorce settlement is or what type of agreement they come to. So it's just not happening. And I just find it so delusional that Harry will have these conversations with his friends. And I'm sure he does have a lot of dreams, but it's like she's not allowing that.
No, Megan is smart. She knows that that's going to be her ticket to never having these children because they will then become like forever in the UK, essentially. I mean, that would be their whole life, essentially, will be going away to boarding school, and she will not have any power. She's giving up her power if she allows this to happen. So, no, there is absolutely no way that's going to happen. I mean, I even have a personal story where something very similar happened to me. And that's what I was thinking. I'm not going to allow my child to go visit in another country where his dad is because I will lose my custody rights. So, yeah, Megan is not going to allow that to happen.
100%. Then we come to the dig from Charles. And Pete Diner, don't tell me this is not deliberate. Okay, because they know the symbolism of these moments. And it really makes me think right back to when I revealed the story of Megxit, and it has become folklore now. But remember, I was being briefed by people very, very close to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle that one of the final straws in terms of their reason to decide to leave was when they saw that the late Queen Elizabeth, during her Christmas message that year, didn't have the picture of Harry and Meghan. And well, it was Archie at that time, wasn't it? It wasn't Lily, but didn't have the picture of Harry, Meghan, and Archie on her table. That was one of the things. So this is symbolism, and it's got to hurt. Let me just take you through the reporting of it. This from Hello magazine, actually. King Charles's Highgrove shake-up sees Meghan Markle photo move. His Majesty King Charles has had a reshuffle at his beloved countryside home in Gloucestershire. A new look inside reveals. But as Long Sally, aka Sue Smith, revealed, bye-bye, Meghan. They took her picture down, and I don't blame them. Cleansing the house of evil. It was actually Chris Jackson, you know, the Getty photographer who does a lot of royal stuff, who put this out there to the world, because I think he had taken those pictures that do remain on the table. And as Hello went on, His Majesty King Charles loves spending time at his Gloucestershire home, Highgrove, and the countryside retreat is full of very personal elements, including family photographs. A fresh look inside the royal residence has revealed that the monarch has had a reshuffling of the photo frames, and seemingly a photo of Meghan and Harry's wedding day has been moved from its prime position. An Instagram story by royal photographer Chris Jackson, who was at the property to host an event, quickly snapped two of his own images on display in one of the gorgeous rooms. A small wooden table showed an image of Prince Harry shoulder to shoulder with his brother Prince William and father King Charles. Another showed King Charles holding his grandson Prince Louis. In 2024, influencer Lydia Malin spotted this very spot, but eagle-eyed fans will be able to spot the difference. There used to be an image taken on Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's 2018 wedding day on display. Now, of course, Hello magazine, because they're pretty soft on these things and quite careful with Harry and Meghan, said, there's a chance Charles's team has simply chosen to display the wedding image elsewhere, but it's lovely to see the smiling snap of Charles and Louis now proudly on display. I mean, pull the other one, P. Diner. Of course, this is not a coincidence. This is absolutely symbolism, and it backs up what I have been reporting earlier in the show, which is that this delusion that Harry has that things are great between him and Charles is increasingly out of touch with the reality of how Charles actually feels.
Yeah, I mean, come on. They are able to erase you. That's what they do, erase you from history, erase you from, looking like you're still a part of the family. Absolutely, they did that intentionally because they're sending a message. Why would they try to not do something like that? Look at everything that Harry has done. The royals have no voice. This is the one way they have a voice, is through these symbols. And, taking away a photo allows them to show, how they feel about something. I mean, of course, if you don't really have a way to come out and refute or rebut things that is said about you in the media, the one way you do have it is by placement of photos. And I think absolutely this was done intentionally. And I think it's great when they do things like that, because they should have this way of showing, how they feel about things, because they can't otherwise with their voice or with, other ways. This is a great way to show how you feel, right? So I don't know why they do that. Like, why would they try? I mean, I guess they want to show themselves as being a magazine that's not trying to be too, combative or whatever, but just, look, just say what the reality is. We're all thinking it.
And
I
this
don't know
is why
why
the
they
mainstream
do
media is
that.
just dying, P. Diner, because no
Yeah.
one wants their soft soap PR'd version of events. It's like, we want the unvarnished truth. And the unvarnished truth is that things are really bad between Harry and Charles at the moment. And he clearly has removed the picture for very good reasons. And it is highly symbolic. Look,
Right.
there were some astonishing pictures that came in overnight, P. Diner. Not sure if you're a big football fan, but Prince William watching his beloved Aston Villa, and he was just absolutely going wild. Right? The glamour and prestige of our monarchy shatters when royals behave like this. You're not agreeing with him on that, P. Diner. But first, the number one worst fruit for your waistline. Are you turning healthy fruits into highly unhealthy fruits without even realizing it? Fruit can be one of the healthiest things you can put into your body, but the majority of Americans are guilty of making this single mistake that can counteract all of the health benefits of fruit. Some fruits help with occasional constipation, reduce bloating, and even help burn calories. Others can wreak havoc on your digestive system and energy levels. I came across this viral presentation from world-renowned surgeon Dr. Stephen Gundry that showcases the 3 fruits to stop eating today. And it was shocking. I had no idea. And after finding it out, I've stopped eating these too. I'm going to put a link for you all to watch it because I want you to gain this information. I think it's truly important. You can watch it right now at thehealthyfat.com/outspoken. That's thehealthyfat.com/outspoken. I also linked it in the description box below the video too, so make sure to click on it or just go to thehealthyfat.com/outspoken. Oh, and by the way, eliminating these fruits could forever change the way we help increase energy levels, decrease brain fog, support digestion, and even lose weight. So make sure to click below or go to thehealthyfat.com/outspoken to find out now. Dr. Gundry has lost 70 pounds himself using his research and has kept the weight off for over 20 years and counting. His digestive issues are gone, his health is fantastic, and he feels younger and healthier today than he did in his 40s. His video has been watched by over 20 million people to date, and you can watch and learn more about it at thehealthyfat.com/outspoken. It's linked at the bottom of this video, but he'll teach you exactly how he has kept his weight off for free at thehealthyfat.com/outspoken. Just click on the link in the description below the video. But now, back to the show.
No emotions. Right? Like the man.
I was thinking, Pete Diner, do you remember the late Queen when she used to watch her horses?
The horses,
and and the Queen Mother, and no one was saying, oh, she's taking away the dignity of the monarchy. Do you like the Queen would be?
Right,
be
I
like
remember
that,
that.
you know, like,
oh,
yeah,
right,
with their binoculars and.
Yeah.
I think it's really out of touch, people criticizing William for this. I think people actually love seeing William like this.
We love this. We want to see our future king show emotions, real emotions that we too can relate to. Okay, this makes him human. This humanizes this man. Stop making him like someone that has to be so well contained to a stiff upper lip. This is a new day, a new time. You know, stop it. Okay, that's ridiculous.
Now, I also think Harry is just so desperate at the moment, P. Diner, to do anything possible to overshadow William. And I've got another example. But before I come to it, because it relates to David Attenborough, I think we just have to give a huge big up to this man who, remember, was very close to Queen Elizabeth II and today is marking his 100th birthday. And it's very sad to me that his good friend, the late Queen, didn't get to this milestone. We really hoped that they would get to it together, P. Diner. And then who would have sent the late Queen the letter? You know, the famous letter that everyone receives. So that's the first thing I want to say. Just amazing, David Attenborough. Absolutely amazing. 100 and still going strong. It is just incredible. But you know, P. Diner, there is a bit of a battle amongst the royal family for proximity to David Attenborough. Of course, his loyalties were always with the late Queen, but he has also done events like here he was at the Netflix event that was attended. It was a very rare event actually attended by King Charles, Prince Harry, and Prince William. And this was a big deal, P. Diner. I remember reporting it at the time because King Charles wasn't going to attend that event because it was a Netflix event. And at the time, The Crown was running the most recent series, which was very negative about him in terms of the marriage to Princess Diana. So they came to an agreement between the palace and Netflix, which was that no stars of The Crown would attend that event. And as a result, King Charles went. And of course, we got those incredible pictures of the 3 men whose relationship was really faltering at that point with David Attenborough. So I'm just making the point, P. Diner, there is a long history with David Attenborough and the British royal family. But I'd say he's least close to Harry, actually. But Harry has decided to try and get himself some good PR for David Attenborough's birthday. This wasn't something that was asked for him to do, by writing an article. And P. Diner, I say writing, I mean, he didn't write this, okay? Harry didn't write this. It was either AI or written by one of his team or sort of commissioned out, because I just don't believe he wrote this. I'm just being totally honest with you. And it's for Time magazine. And he wrote, for almost anyone who grew up in the United Kingdom, Sir David Attenborough is more than a broadcaster. He is a secular saint. He is an institutional pillar as essential to the national fabric as a cup of tea. His almost whispers have been the soft soundtrack of the home, a shared experience that turned the Weekend Nature documentary into a national ritual. Whether you grew up enjoying biscuits or cookies, he is the man who showed you the world through a uniquely spectacular lens. He has earned the world's trust by simply showing us that our environment is worth appreciating. He didn't demand our attention, but drew us in with the wonder of nature all the same. In Attenborough's approach, we find a vital lesson for our time, that wonder is a powerful precursor to protection, reminding us that we may only care for a world that we have first learned to truly value. Now, it went on and on and on, P. Diner. But my thing is, firstly, Attenborough didn't ask you to do this. He actually wanted it to be relatively low key. I've seen him speaking about that. And there was a whole load planned by the BBC where he continues to work. But the bigger point is, P. Diner, the way that people are authentic, and that is something that Harry and Meghan have put so much stock in, being authentic, is when we hear your voice, when we read your words. Okay, people often say, I mean, I used to write a lot. You know, I had my columns for years and years and years. And the biggest compliment people could give me, P. Diner, is, oh, it was like you were speaking to me. I could hear your voice in that. It was just like you were talking. You know, that's the joy of writing. And that's why I hate AI so much and people who use AI to write their articles. Now, Harry may have used AI for this. He may have got someone else to write it. But trust me, that's not his voice. And it would have been so much better for Harry to actually write something from the heart, because this tribute, P. Diner, I think was just an attempt to try and get some good PR off the back of David Attenborough.
We are on a mission to 700,000 subscribers. So I need you to do something for me right now. It is free. It is easy. It is simple. Just hit that subscribe button on YouTube. That's because over 50% of you watching this video haven't done that yet. And it is the best way to support Outspoken. We're totally independent, by the way. No big tech backing, no billionaires pulling the strings. And if you turn on the bell, you'll get alerted to all our new videos.
Yeah, I would say that Harry definitely took a shortcut here because this was not in his voice. Harry just wants to do things for reasons that are not authentic. And just listening to what he wrote there just seemed not like him. And, like I said before, Harry is just confused. He is just trying to do things to get attention. I think he's very, I think, upset about the life that he has right now, the way it's going for him. And he wants to just remain relevant. And even if it means putting something out there that is not truly him speaking, he's going to do it because he's a lost prince. He doesn't even know what his voice is at this point. I mean, one minute he's writing in spare, saying all these horrible things, about his own family. And next we're supposed to believe that you have this heartfelt tribute to a man that you really don't know that well. And it doesn't even sound like you. Like this, Harry is so like off the mark with everything that he does. And I think it's his continued attachment to Meghan. And so reading and looking at what he has done here, it's pathetic that he wants to try to make himself appear as if he's doing something nice and kind. But at the end of the day, it all falls short because we know who you are. We see the history that you have created. And that is completely not who you are, Harry. And it continues to show every time you try to make yourself relevant. It's terrible.
P. Diner, there was this big breaking news story overnight. Andrew Mountbatten, Windsor, attacked by some type of madman or in a masked man terror, as the Daily Mirror put it on their front page. Chased by this man in a balaclava. That man has now been charged by police, P. Diner. But what I think is pretty wrong about this is he is immediately using it by briefing the newspapers, the Daily Telegraph, who I think he briefed this story in the first place, to demand taxpayer-funded security, P. Diner. So here's the latest. Police arrested Alex Jenkinson, 39, on suspicion of a public order offence and possession of an offensive weapon. Friends said it highlighted the ongoing issue about the long-term safety of the King's brother following revelations about his links to Jeffrey Epstein, the late paedophile. The King withdrew his younger brother's personal allowance and private security provision in 2024 as he attempted to force his removal from Royal Lodge in Windsor in the wake of the scandal. A source close to Mr. Mountbatten, Windsor, has called for the security provision to be reviewed because of the risk to his safety. A Force spokesman said officers were called shortly after 7:30 p.m. yesterday. Following a report, a man was behaving in an intimidating manner in the village. Officers attended and the man was arrested on suspicion of a public order offence and possession of an offensive weapon. He was taken to Kings Lynn Police Investigation Centre for questioning. Alex Jenkinson, aged 39 and of Stowmarket, Suffolk, has since been charged with 2 counts of using threatening, abusive or insulting words or behaviour to harass someone or cause alarm or distress and failing to provide a specimen of blood in custody. He has been remanded in custody and is due to appear at Norwich Magistrates Court tomorrow. But then a source close to Mr. Mountbatten, Windsor, told the newspaper, even though Andrew is no longer a working member of the royal family, the threat to his personal safety is greater than ever. In fact, it could be argued that he is actually more at risk, not only from a potential terror attack, but also from individuals who have become fixated due to all the coverage he has attracted over recent years. This incident clearly demonstrates why his security provisions need to be appropriate for someone with a high profile. There should be a review which gives proper consideration to Andrew in the light of what has happened. Now, Pete Diner, this has, got a lot of anger. We broke this story yesterday during the Royal Uncancelled After Show with Paula Frolic Uncensored. And she said she just wants Andrew to stay under house arrest, that effectively he shouldn't leave Wood Farm at all. And she has no sympathy. And then we had on our other main show, you can actually watch that highlight now, P. Diner, on YouTube, Di Davies, the former head of Royal Protection, who also had absolutely no sympathy for Andrew and is absolutely certain that he should not be receiving taxpayer-funded security, because in Di Davies' view, Andrew should actually be in prison right now awaiting the results of this investigation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. While listening to this story, I was thinking, yeah, this man has done some things that he needs to atone for, and he hasn't. He essentially being on house arrest is not really a true punishment, but he should have to just stay in his home, not leave. And I think if he wants to have any kind of protection, what has he done to try to show paying back to society? What has he had to do to show reparations in a sense? Like, okay, can he do something to I guess warrant any kind of protection for him? I think Andrew needs to stay away in his home. Don't leave. And if this man wants to leave, he should have to do something for the community, for the victims. He hasn't done anything. How can a man just act as if his life is just now going to be a quiet life without ever having to atone for what he has done? And I think that's the part that needs to happen. If he wants to get any kind of protection. I mean, I don't know how the taxpayers would feel long term about something like that, but this man needs to do something for the crimes that he is being accused of. I think this is what happens when when you do things like this. You have crazy people, they're going to try to hurt you. I mean, even if you hadn't done, I mean, look what happened with the Queen. I mean, and when at Buckingham Palace. So, yeah, Andrew needs to do something to atone for what he has done to get some kind of security. But I think he gets what he gets right now because he's doing nothing. Just acting as if nothing happened. He didn't do anything, right? I mean, this man has paid no real price, I don't think. I mean, just going into a quiet life is not really paying the price for anything.
Some people would love it.
I don't know. How do you feel about that, Dan? I mean, I think
I mean,
should
the problem is, I said this yesterday, actually, like, I'm absolutely a huge believer in innocent until proven guilty, but there's a huge problem, P. Diner, in that there was an establishment cover-up over the whole situation with Epstein and Andrew. So if people hadn't demanded this type of justice, I would say, though, the worry that we've got is that I don't want another death in this case, because I think Jeffrey Epstein certainly didn't take his own life. I don't believe that for a single second. But the fact that he's not around anymore has actually made it a lot harder to bring other people to justice. Do you see what I mean? So I also think it's not good for anyone if Andrew is killed by a madman, or if he does mysteriously die. I don't think that helps the situation. So I think you can look at it in both ways. But in terms of taxpayer-funded security, absolutely not. You know, Charles is giving a lot of money to it. But look, P. Diner, there is other big revelations, and this is nuts, actually.
Recent reports claim that Prince Harry was deeply affected by a new birthday photo of Princess Charlotte. According to unnamed friends, seeing his niece growing up alongside Prince George and Prince Louis reminded him of what his own children, Archie and Lilibet, are missing by living in California. The reports suggest Harry wishes his children could experience the same close-knit family life and education as their royal cousins in the UK. But that raises an obvious question. If that's truly what he wants, what stands in the way? One report claims Harry hopes his children could one day attend school in Britain, just as he attended Ludgrove and Eton. It also suggests he values the lifelong friendships he formed there and wants his children to have similar opportunities. However, many royal commentators question whether that plan is realistic. Meghan Markle has previously expressed reservations about Britain's boarding school tradition, and relocating the children to the UK would involve far more than simply choosing a school. Critics also argue that much of this reporting relies heavily on anonymous sources, making it difficult to know what Harry genuinely believes versus what is speculation. Another topic generating attention is King Charles's residence at Highgrove. Visitors recently noticed that a framed photograph from Harry and Meghan's wedding no longer appears at its previous place. In its place are photographs highlighting other members of the royal family. Was this simply redecorating or a symbolic message? No official explanation has been given, but many observers see the change as reflecting the current distance between King Charles and Prince Harry. Others caution that reading too much into photo arrangements may be speculative. Meanwhile, Prince William has been receiving praise after being photographed passionately supporting Aston Villa during a football match. Rather than viewing his emotional reaction as undignified, many people welcomed seeing a future king enjoying a genuine moment as a football fan. It reflects a broader shift in public expectations. Increasingly, people appreciate members of the royal family appearing more relatable and authentic. Another story making headlines involves Sir David Attenborough's milestone birthday. Prince Harry contributed a tribute celebrating Attenborough's extraordinary influence on generations of viewers and his lifelong commitment to conservation. While the tribute was warmly received by some, others questioned whether it reflected Harry's authentic voice or had been prepared with assistance. Without confirmation, it's impossible to know how much Harry personally wrote, but the discussion highlights how public figures are increasingly judged not only by what they say, but whether audiences believe it feels genuine. Finally, Prince Andrew returned to the headlines after an incident involving an individual who was later arrested and charged by police. The event has renewed debate about whether Andrew should receive publicly funded security. Supporters argue that his profile makes him a security risk, regardless of his current status. Critics counter that after stepping back from royal duties and amid ongoing controversy surrounding his past associations, taxpayers should not bear that cost. As with many royal stories, opinions remain deeply divided. Taken together, these developments paint a picture of a royal family still navigating strained relationships, intense public scrutiny, and constant media attention. Whether it's speculation about Harry's future, symbolic gestures at royal residences, or debates over security and public image, the fascination surrounding the monarchy shows no sign of fading. Only time will reveal whether these family divisions eventually heal or continue to widen under the spotlight of public life.